July 14th, 1857. Magnolia Ridge Plantation, Louisiana. 2:17 in the morning. The big house is asleep, except for one room. Master Elias Hargrove, face red from whiskey and rage, drags a tall, shirtless slave named Isaiah across the polished floor. Isaiah's wrists are raw from fresh iron. Blood drips from the whip marks on his back. Behind them, the overseer carries a lantern that swings wild shadows across the walls. They stop in front of a heavy oak door. Inside that room is Elias's only child, 29-year-old Evelyn Hargrove, 380 pounds, bedridden for 4 long years. Doctors say her heart is giving out under the weight and under the loneliness. No white man in the parish will court her. Most call her the whale in lace behind fans. Elias shoves Isaiah forward so hard the chains sing. "Tonight," the master growls, voice shaking, "you are going to do what no gentleman would. You are going to make my daughter feel desired again. You will stay in that room until she tells me she feels like a woman, or I swear on my wife's grave I will unman you before sunrise." The overseer unlocks the door, pushes Isaiah inside, and the heavy bolt slams shut. The key turns. Click. 2 human beings, one born with every privilege, one born in chains, are now locked together in the dark. And what happened behind that room over the next 8 weeks would tear the entire plantation apart. Welcome back, family, or welcome for the first time. If you stay until the end of this chapter, you're going to see something you can't unsee. Hit the bell right now, because this story only gets darker. Let me take you inside that room the first night. The air is thick with camphor and rosewater, Evelyn's medicines. Moonlight cuts through the shutters in silver bars. Evelyn is propped up on a mountain of pillows, breathing heavy, eyes wide open with terror. She has never been alone with any man who wasn't a doctor or her father. Now a half-naked slave, tall, muscled like a statue, skin shining with sweat, stands at the foot of her bed, staring at the floor. Isaiah speaks first, voice low and steady. "Miss, I ain't here by my choosing. If I touch you wrong, they'll say I forced you and hang me by supper tomorrow. If I don't touch you at all, Massa will do worse than hang me. So tell me what you want, and let's both live through this night." Evelyn's lip trembles. Tears roll into the folds of her neck. For the first time in years, somebody is talking to her like she's human, not a burden, not a monster. She whispers, "Just sit. Just sit and talk to me, so I'm not alone." So he sits, all night, telling her stories his mama told him about African moons and trickster spiders. When the rooster crows, the door opens. The overseer is shocked. Isaiah is fully dressed. Evelyn is asleep with dried tears on her cheeks. But for the first time in years, she's smiling. Night after night, the door locks again. At first, it's only talking. Then Evelyn asks him to rub the cramps from her swollen legs, something the maids are too rough to do gently. Isaiah's hands that pick cotton from dawn to dusk, become careful, almost tender. He tells her the pain in her body is the same pain he carries in his spirit. Something shifts. By the 6th week, Evelyn has lost almost 60 pounds. The house servants can't explain it. The cook swears the mistress is throwing away plates of food untouched. Evelyn orders new dresses, 2 sizes smaller. And every night, Isaiah walks to that room on his own feet now too. No chains, no dragging. But here's what nobody in the big house knew yet. Isaiah wasn't just visiting Evelyn to save his own skin anymore. Every evening when the sun dropped, he was slipping extra pieces of cornbread and smoked ham from the kitchen and carrying them straight to the starving men in the slave quarters who were too weak to work the new 16-hour days. He was risking everything because Evelyn had started whispering a promise. When Papa dies, this plantation comes to me, and the first thing I'll do is burn every chain on this land. Week 8. Sunday morning after church. The entire household is gathered in the dining room for breakfast. The door to Evelyn's wing creaks open for the first time in 4 years, and out walks Evelyn Hargrove, on her own 2 feet, 90 pounds lighter, hair shining, wearing a dress that actually fits. The mistress drops her teacup. The master turns white as his shirt. Servants freeze with platters in their hands. Evelyn smiles, a real smile, and says, "I believe I'll take breakfast at the table today, Papa." Gasps all around. That same night, no one forcing him anymore, Isaiah slips back into her room willingly. The door closes softly. For the first time, Evelyn reaches for him, and he doesn't pull away. But someone else has been watching. The master's young second wife, Miss Delphine, barely 22, jealous of every glance ever given to Evelyn, has discovered a tiny peephole in the wallpaper. Every single night, she has pressed her eye to that hole, and what she saw made her blood boil hotter than hellfire, because the sounds coming from that room were no longer sounds of duty. They were sounds of hunger, sounds of choice, sounds of love. And Miss Delphine is now 3 months late for her own monthly courses, but her husband hasn't touched her bed in twice that time. The very next dawn, Master Elias kicks open Evelyn's door without knocking. He finds his daughter asleep in Isaiah's arms, red scratches down her pale throat, deep bite marks across Isaiah's shoulders, both of them peaceful for the first time in their lives. Elias's scream echoes through the whole house. "Guards, take that black devil to the barn. I want him singing soprano by noon." Isaiah is dragged away naked and bleeding. Evelyn tries to run after him, but her new, lighter body betrays her and she collapses. As the barn doors slam and the torches are lit, Miss Delphine stands in the shadows, hand on her belly, smiling like a cat. Screen freeze. White text on black. Would you forgive Isaiah for falling in love with the master's daughter, or was he only saving his own life? Comment forgive or betrayal. Right now, I'm reading every single one. If you're not subscribed with the bell on, you will miss the night the whole plantation caught fire. See you in the next chapter, family. Sleep light.
The morning sun pours through the dining room windows of Magnolia Ridge. Master Elias Hargrove sits at the head of the table, coffee going cold in his hand. His young wife, Delphine, pretends to read her prayer book. House servants stand frozen like statues. Then, the impossible happens. The double doors from the east wing swing open. Out steps Eveline Hargrove, 90 pounds gone. Cheeks no longer swallow her eyes. She is wearing a blue silk dress that was made for someone else and now fits her like it was sewn yesterday. She walks, unaided, across the room. Every step echoes. She pulls out her own chair, sits down, and says in a clear voice, "Good morning, Papa. I'll have 2 eggs and a slice of ham, please." The mistress's teacup shatters on the floor. Elias's mouth opens, but no sound comes out. That same night, no chains, no overseer, no threats. Isaiah closes Eveline's bedroom door from the inside. He turns the key himself. From that night on, everything is different. The locked door is no longer a prison. It is a secret world. Eveline teaches Isaiah to read by candlelight, using her mother's old Bible. He traces the letters with a finger that has only ever known cotton balls and whip scars. She whispers each word like a prayer. He repeats it, like freedom. He tells her stories his grandmother carried from Senegal, stories of kings who flew on the backs of birds, of women who turned into rivers to escape their enemies. For the first time in her life, Eveline laughs until tears come, and the weight keeps falling away. Another 30 pounds, then 50. The housemaids have to take her dresses in again and again. The parish doctor comes, pokes and prods, and finally declares it the greatest medical mystery he has ever seen. "Exercise and happiness," he says, but he doesn't know the half of it. Isaiah starts staying until the first rooster. Some nights, he doesn't leave at all. One night, sweat cooling on their skin, Eveline rests her head on his chest and says, "When Papa is gone, this land becomes mine. Every acre, every person. The first thing I will do is walk to the quarters myself and break every chain with my own hands. You will never wear iron again, Isaiah. I swear it on my soul." Isaiah is quiet for a long time. Then he says, "A white woman's swear don't always hold, Miss Eveline." She sits up, eyes fierce. "Then I will make it hold, even if I have to burn the deed and run north with you." For the first time, he believes her. 10 weeks after that first locked door. Midnight. Isaiah and Eveline are wrapped around each other, breathing hard, hearts racing. The sheets are twisted on the floor. She traces the scars on his back and whispers, "I have never felt so alive. You gave me my body back and something more." He kisses her forehead, and that is when it happens. Eveline suddenly sits up bolt right. Her hand flies to her stomach. Her eyes go wide. "Isaiah, I'm late. 2 months late." The blood drains from his face. A child. His child. Inside the master's daughter. In Louisiana in 1857, that is not a miracle. That is a death sentence written in fire. But here is the secret nobody in that bed knows yet. Miss Delphine, the master's pretty young second wife, has not been idle. Every single night for the past 10 weeks, she has knelt on the cold floor of the next room, eye pressed to a tiny hole she carved in the wallpaper with a hat pin. She has watched everything, heard everything, and she has kept count of the days on a little calendar hidden in her jewelry box. Delphine is also late, 3 months late, and Elias has not come to her bed since before the first time Isaiah was locked in Eveline's room. She places a hand on her still flat belly and smiles in the dark. because now she holds two secrets that can destroy them all, and one of them might just make her the richest widow in the parish. The very next evening, Eveline stands in front of her mirror, turning sideways, staring at the new softness around her middle. She is smiling through tears. Isaiah stands behind her, arms around her, whispering, "We will run. Tonight. I know a man on the river who owes me." But outside the window, Delphine watches from the shadows of the veranda. In her hand is a tiny knitted noose, no bigger than a bracelet. She kisses it once, then slips away towards the master's study. Screen slams to black. White text appears. Whose child do you think is growing in Delphine's belly? Isaiah's or the master's? Comment the name right now. I will pin the person who gets it right. If you are not subscribed with notifications on, you will miss the chapter that broke 100,000 views in the first hour last time. See you tomorrow night, family. Lock your doors.
Dawn. The morning after Delphine disappeared into the shadows, Master Elias Hargrove storms into Eveline's room with the parish doctor and two overseers. Isaiah is already gone, slipped out before first light. Eveline is standing at the window in her nightgown, hand resting on the small curve that is just starting to show. The doctor, old Dr. Landry, is forced to examine her right there in front of her father. He presses, listens, measures. His face goes gray. "It is true, Master Hargrove. Your daughter is with child, almost 4 months along." Elias's hand goes to the pistol on his belt. "Get every man on this plantation in the yard. I want that buck found and brought to the barn. He will lose what makes him a man before the sun is high." Within the hour, Isaiah is dragged in, beaten and barefoot. They chain him spread eagle between two posts in the punishment barn. The blacksmith is already heating the gelding knife in the forge. Eveline runs out in nothing but her chemise, hair loose, screaming, "Papa, stop! It wasn't force! I wanted it! I begged him!" Elias backhands her so hard she falls into the dirt. "Silence, girl. You will marry the first widower I can buy, and that bastard will be sold south the day it draws breath." Isaiah lifts his bleeding face and speaks for the first time. "Sell the child if you must, massa, but the blood in its veins might speak louder than you think." The overseers laugh. Elias spits on him. That night, in the cookhouse, Aunt Hetty, the oldest woman in the quarters, pulls Isaiah into the shadows while the guards drink. She presses a small packet of dried roots, bitter root, the kind that ends what hasn't started yet. She whispers, "Make her drink this in hot water tonight. Baby gone by morning. You live, she lives, everybody keeps breathing." Isaiah stares at the packet like it's poison. Because it is. He has to choose the life of the child he already loves, or his own life and Eveline's. He hides the packet in his cheek and nods. Minutes later, the barn door creaks open again. Miss Delphine steps inside alone, lantern low, cloak pulled tight. She walks straight up to Isaiah hanging in chains and lets the cloak fall. Nothing underneath. "You gave her everything I never got," she whispers, fingers tracing the whip scars on his chest. "Give it to me now, just once, and I will cut you down myself. I will put you on a northbound boat with papers that say you're free. Refuse, and I scream the one word that brings every torch on this place running. Isaiah looks her in the eyes and says nothing. Delphine waits. 10 heartbeats. 20. Then Isaiah spits the bitter root dust straight into her face. It burns her eyes like fire. She stumbles back, gasping, and screams the word she promised she would. Boots thunder across the yard. Torches flare to life. The mob is coming. Evelyn, locked in her room, hears the scream and knows exactly what it means. She smashes her mirror, grabs a long shard of glass, and starts cutting through the window bars. Isaiah is cut down only to be thrown on the ground. The red-hot knife is lifted high. And that is when the twist hits like lightning. Master Elias suddenly roars, "Stop! Lower that blade!" The blacksmith freezes. Elias's face is purple, shaking. He looks at Delphine crying in the dirt, then at Evelyn running barefoot across the grass with blood on her hands from the glass. He starts to laugh, a horrible, broken sound. Put the knife away. There will be no gelding today. The overseers stare, confused. Elias wipes his mouth and looks straight at Isaiah. Because the child in my daughter's belly is white enough to pass, and the one in my wife's belly is the one we need to worry about. Delphine's head snaps up. Every eye turns to her. Elias continues, voice ice cold. Delphine hasn't let me touch her in 5 months, but she's showing all the same signs Evelyn had at 4 months. So tell me, wife, who warmed your bed while I was in New Orleans selling cotton? The yard goes dead silent. Delphine's mouth opens. No words come. Evelyn reaches Isaiah, falls to her knees beside him, and presses the glass shard to her own throat. One more step from any man, and the Hargrove line ends tonight. Torches flicker. Guns cock. The storm is about to break. Screen cuts to black. Comment right now. Who is the real father of Delphine's baby? I'm pinning the first person who guesses correct. If your bell isn't on, you will miss the chapter where the whole plantation burns. Stay close, family. The devil is almost done playing.
The yard of Magnolia Ridge is lit by 20 torches. The air smells of hot iron and fear. Isaiah lies in the dirt, chains still around his wrists. Eveline kneels over him, glass shard pressed hard enough against her own throat that a thin line of blood runs down her neck. One wrong move, and she will end it all. Master Elias stands 10 feet away, pistol drawn, face twisted. Delphine is behind him, one hand protecting her belly, eyes wild. Every field hand, every house servant, every overseer is frozen in a circle of firelight. Eveline's voice cuts through the night like a blade. "Papa, lower the guns! Let Isaiah walk away tonight, or I swear this child dies with me right here." Elias laughs, but it cracks in the middle. "You would die for a slave's bastard." "I would die," she answers, "before I let you turn my baby into property." The overseer with the hot knife takes one step forward. Eveline presses harder. More blood. Then the first shot rings out, not from Elias's pistol, from the darkness beyond the quarters. A second shot. The overseer drops, clutching his leg, screaming. The torch falls from his hand and rolls across the dry grass. Every head turns. Out of the shadows walk 15 field hands carrying axes, scythes, and old muskets that haven't seen powder in 20 years. Leading them is Aunt Hetty, gray hair loose, eyes burning. The Lord said, "Let my people go." Tonight, we taken that word serious. Chaos explodes. Torches swing, guns fire into the air. 2 overseers go down under swinging blades. The night fills with shouts and the smell of gunpowder. Eveline drags Isaiah to his feet. They run together toward the main house, her bare feet leaving bloody prints on the porch. Inside her room, door barred, she falls into his arms, both of them shaking, both of them crying. "Listen to me." She presses a leather pouch into his hand. "Inside are the freedom papers I stole from Papa's safe weeks ago. Signed, sealed, blank name. Take them. Take the horse in the far stable. Ride north till the river." Isaiah stares at her. "Not without you." "I'm slow now. They'll catch us both. Go, live, tell our child its mother loved it enough to burn a plantation down." Another gunshot outside. Closer. Windows shattered downstairs. Isaiah cups her face. "I will come back for you both. I swear on every scar I own." They kiss once, hard, tasting blood and tears. He slips out the back window into the smoke. That is when the biggest twist of the night hits. Master Elias kicks open the bedroom door alone, coat torn, face black with soot. He is holding a burning lantern in one hand and a bottle of kerosene in the other. He looks at his daughter, belly rounded with new life, and something breaks inside him. "I kept a secret longer than you know, Eveline. That child you carry, it might be mine, after all. I came to you drunk the night your mama died. You were 15. I swore I'd take it to my grave." Eveline goes dead white. The glass shard falls from her fingers. Elias pours kerosene across the floorboards. "I won't let the parish hang my own blood, and I won't let them hang me for what I done. Tonight, Magnolia Ridge burns clean." He touches the lantern to the floor. Flames race up the walls like demons. Eveline screams. Downstairs, Delphine sees the fire climb the curtains. She laughs once, high and broken, then runs into the night clutching her own belly, disappearing into the swamp. The big house becomes an inferno. Field hands cheer as 200 years of chains go up in smoke. And somewhere on the North Road, Isaiah rides hard under a red-blooded sky, freedom papers in his pocket and 2 babies on his conscience. Screen slams to black. The ending will break you. Comment, burn it all if you're ready. Bell on, sleep is canceled. See you for the last time, family.
A hurricane is coming in off the Gulf. The sky is green-black, wind screaming through the cypress like lost souls. Magnolia Ridge is already burning. The big house roars with fire. Flames leap 3 stories high, licking the stars. Every window explodes outward in showers of glass. The roof collapses with a sound like the end of the world. Eveline stands on the upper gallery, nightgown whipping around her legs, 7 months heavy with child. Smoke pours into her lungs. Below, field hands dance in the yard, chains broken, singing freedom songs older than the plantation itself. Master Elias is gone. Some say he walked into the fire himself. Some say Aunt Hetty put a blade in his back. No one is looking for him anymore. Eveline's water breaks right there on the burning porch. The pain drops her to her knees. Isaiah was supposed to be miles away by now, but he never left. He comes riding back through the smoke on a stolen horse, shirt soaked with sweat and rain. He leaps the burning steps 3 at a time, finds her crawling toward the stairs. "I couldn't leave you," he says. "Not ever." He carries her down through the fire, her arms around his neck, her screams mixing with the thunder. They make it to her childhood bedroom, the same room where the locked door started it all. The walls are already blazing, but the bed is still whole. Isaiah lays her down. There is no doctor, no midwife, no time. "It's coming now," she gasps. "Catch him, Isaiah. Catch our baby." The storm breaks. Rain hammers the roof like gunfire. Isaiah kneels between her knees, hands steady even while the world ends around them. He talks her through every contraction the way the old women in the quarters taught him long ago. Push, Eveline. Push for freedom. One last scream that shakes what's left of the house. And then a cry. Small, fierce, alive. Isaiah lifts the child up through the smoke. A boy. Light brown skin, gray-green eyes, a curl of black hair already wet with rain. He wraps the baby in the only clean thing left, Eveline's mother's Bible page that she used to teach him to read. The page with the verse, "Let my people go." Eveline reaches out, touches the baby's cheek once. She is pale, bleeding heavy, smiling through tears. "His name is Moses," she whispers. "Take him north. Tell him his mama loved him enough to burn hell down so he would never know chains." Isaiah leans over her, baby against his chest. "You're coming with us." She shakes her head. "Too much blood. I feel it." Tears cut clean tracks down his smoke-blackened face. Eveline pulls the leather pouch from under the pillow, the freedom papers, now signed in her own blood with the name Moses Hargrove. "These are real. My father signed everything over to me the day he thought he could control me. You are free. The baby is free, born on free soil the moment this house falls." A beam crashes behind them. Sparks rain down. Isaiah kisses her one last time. "I will tell him every night how brave his mother was." Eveline closes her eyes. "Tell him love was stronger than the whip." Her hand goes slack. Isaiah stands in the burning room holding his son and roars into the storm, a sound of grief and victory mixed. He runs. Through the back door, through the rain, past the celebrating people who part like the Red Sea when they see the child in his arms. He finds the horse tied where he left it. He rides north through the hurricane, baby Moses tight against his heart. Behind them, Magnolia Ridge collapses into a mountain of fire. 200 years of cruelty turned to ash in one night. Years later, in a small free black community in Canada, an old man with whip scars on his back tells his grandchildren stories by the fire. He tells them about a white woman who weighed almost 400 pounds and learned how to fly, about a locked door that became a key, about a baby born in flames who never wore a chain. And every time he finishes the story, he opens that old Bible page, singed at the edges, still wrapped around a lock of auburn hair, and reads the same line, "Let my people go." Screen fades from fire to a quiet Canadian sunrise. White text, slow. This story is fiction, but every detail, the forced nightly visits, the hidden pregnancies, the plantations that burned because love refused to stay silent, happened to real people. Their names are lost. Their courage is not. If these stories move you, anger you, make you feel something, subscribe and turn every notification on. Next week, I'm dropping the one that still keeps me awake at night. You don't want to miss it. Thank you for staying until the end, family. Moses would have been 168 years old this year. He lived free because somebody chose love over chains. I'll see you in the next one. Stay human.